Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Fire Emblem 7.
So here's another game fact I just remembered a little bit ago. When making Breath of the Wild, they didn't want to hire people whose main hobby was playing video games because they're like, we're trying to change the conventions, not make the current conventions better. So they went out of their way to hire people who had outdoor hobbies. They hired people like rock climbers. That's why rock climbing was in the game. But they hired some people with hobbies that ended up not getting implemented.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's going one of two ways. Either great or horrible. It's not going to just kind of be middle ground.
Well, they
what, are you trying to get Link to kayak?
Well, one of them, this would have been cool. One of them was a guy who liked to go deep sea cave exploring
that is so cool.
with his friends.
Oh, yeah?
That sounds fun. That would be cool.
Like you have Link dive and then go
dive, find a deep sea cave, and find some equipment and stuff in there. Cool. Breath of the Wild 2 is still in development. They might want to do some. Anuma freaking is a motorcycle cyclist, and that's he wanted a motorcycle so bad, and they
that's why they
let
put
him.
That one in.
And then in the DLC, like we need something to give the players, and he kept apparently Anuma kept leaning over to one of the directors and kept saying,
"I want a motorcycle."
Motorcycle.
Come on, it's Ning.
And eventually they finally did it.
That's a weird decision, but that's alright.
Dude, the Master Cycle in that game is so fun.
That's probably why they have Link as an interior designer, since you get to kind of play around your little house or whatever.
Yeah.
So being interior designer.
Here's another fun fact. Originally, so you know how those houses are built out of squares? The Terrytown ones?
Oh, yeah.
You were actually going to be able to build your own houses. That's why they're cubes. You were going to be able to stack them yourself.
Kind of like Minecraft a little bit, but
yeah, anywhere in the world.
A little more bare bones.
It would have been you would have been able to build yourself a house anywhere in the world, and then I think Terrytown you would have just built the houses there.
Shut up!
Oh, your phone.
Yeah, my phone.
I was surprised that Nomad just went straight for Raven sword, just because he has a bow. I'm surprised he just went up for it. He's like,
another fun fact: Fire Emblem's good.
I like Fire Emblem.
Especially when it has a blue and red-haired lord.
I was watching
maybe green once in a while.
Maybe.
I was watching this video where 3 Poketubers like they take turns on this game and they have self-imposed rules like Nuzlocke challenge but they wouldn't tell each other what the rule set was supposed to be, so they all kind of just guessed their own thing. The third guy kept picking killer music. He would pick like when a battle got serious, he'd put Fire Emblem 3 Houses battle music.
Oh, heck yeah.
When things were just being silly, or when he was surfing around, it'd be Mario Sunshine music. He kept pulling good songs.
Pence kind of broken.
Yeah, you told me about that, Tyler. I'm surprised Pence is taking only 5 damage from this up class.
Yeah, Pence kind of broken, dude.
How much defense does this dude have?
12 for a mage? That's insane!
Here's the last fun fact.
That is actually insane.
I have not paid attention to a single thing that's happened.
That's alright, you don't need to. I'm just killing shit.
Drew's just getting through the map, you know what it is.
Yeah, there's nothing really going on, Tyler.
Yeah, how many episodes of this are we doing today? 3 or
9?
Or 3 or 9. 6 or 9 is what I meant to ask.
Yeah, let's do 3.
Yeah.
I have to prioritize this game, Tyler, because
we're very close.
We're really close to the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
we are.
What mission number is this?
This is 27. So after this,
30.
there's 3 more.
30 exact? I thought it was 32.
30.
Just 30.
And there's no more guided chapters.
Cool. So we've got 3 more chapters left. Almost there. But
anyways, how you doing?
Yeah.
Good. I'm good.
I made a tasty dinner.
You did. You made fish and muffins.
Tilapia and croissant rolls.
You Donald Duck for a bit.
The Pillsbury ones, the ones that are just called crescents instead of croissants.
Right.
Yeah, the crescents.
Those things are good. But you know, good quick dinner when I have friends coming over.
I got a fun gaming fact for you, but you might know this already.
Yeah.
That's
still fun.
2 off.
This year, the GameCube is now considered a retro console.
Really?
A console has to be 20 years old for it to be considered retro.
I was gonna say Xbox 360 and PS3.
Those are far away.
People keep saying different things. Oh, it's this many generations behind. It's retro. It's this many years.
It's an age.
If you go
it has to be 20 years old.
If you go off the 20 years old rule, then yeah.
That means last year it was the PS2.
Johanna was going through some of her boxes today. She found her
old.
DS Lite and her Game Boy Advance.
Ooh, I didn't even know she had one.
The DS Lite did not turn on. We don't know about the DS Lite. The Game Boy works perfect. All the buttons work. It turns on.
Does she have the charger?
I do, but I don't have it here.
Oh.
You want to say they're getting old?
She did not seem to know where the DS Lite charger is, though.
I know I have them, but I just don't know where they're at. I never threw them away.
Oh, so I saw this discussion one time. So let's have this discussion.
Oh boy.
Aesthetically, what are your favorite and least favorite consoles? And I want like separate section for home console or
great!
TV
Nintendo.
consoles and handheld consoles.
So you're just asking me what's my favorite looking console?
Your favorite and your least favorite. I think my favorite of all the handhelds is the DSi. That thing looks sleek. It's
Laura
nice,
Laura
it folds
showed
up.
me her DSi the other day for no Nintendos that she was like, she just wanted to go down memory road with. I was like, oh, that's so rare. That's so freaking old.
DSi
dude.
was clean.
I've never
Then-
owned one.
DSi was super clean. It
Then
actually was the best.
A lot
DS
of people
design.
say DS Lite, but I like the DSi because it was a matte
DSi
finish
was
and
better.
not a shiny one with a hollow shell.
Unless you got
DS was
unless
DSi
you got
was
the
cool.
unless you got the XL, because Laura had the DSi XL. It was glossy.
I hate gloss.
Yeah, it was glossy.
Oh, and then ugliest handheld that I'm only counting the ones that I've seen in person and stuff because I don't know like off the top of my head what a Game Gear looks like or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Let's just say we're sticking mostly Nintendo handheld
for the
wise.
handhelds, yeah.
I do like the PSP.
Oh, you know
Yeah,
what?
PSP
No,
was
I
a
know.
nice-
The PSP
nice.
Go I don't like.
Yeah.
I've never held one. So
You
I
Our
like
can't
the
cousin
say.
slides
had
up?
one.
I think it's ugly.
Our cousin had one.
Yeah.
It's basically if you had a, you remember the old Blackberries that slid the
But-
keyboard?
Yep.
It's like that, but you got your PSP controls.
But-
Weird.
Honorable
yeah.
mention is probably the original DS. That thing was an ugly brick too.
I love that thing. I think it's got charm. It's fat. It's like freaking yay thick when you close it.
No,
It's huge.
you know what? I don't like how freaking shiny and sparkly the original 3DS was.
The Switch
I think
is,
the original 3DS is my least favorite look.
The original,
Actually,
also on top of it, not
it had a
looking that
screen
good,
defect.
It had a defect. Not it wasn't
It was
even
like-
a defect. It was a
it-
design flaw,
flaw.
where they didn't make
Design
the
flaw.
rubber stoppers long enough, so the bottom screen damaged the top screen.
So every time you close, you had to throw a cloth in there.
I
That
remember
was
that.
probably my least favorite. That's awful. I have fond
Okay.
memories of it, but that.
So that's
it was
mine.
annoying.
So
Mine's
this is
3DS, the original 3DS,
for the
probably.
worst. What'd you
Yeah.
say yours was the best?
My favorite, probably. It's probably just the Game Boy SP. I think it's nice. It's just nice, small, flip, you know.
Yeah.
There's your screen, you get
I
your
like
game.
the original Game
It
Boy
was
Advance
nice.
a lot too.
That was nice too.
Okay, Drew, where do you stand on it?
I think my
PSP.
favorite console, just in terms of looks, is probably the N64. It has the most. What do you call it? Versions of it.
Variation.
There are 16 different
He has the-
N64 designs.
He has the Pikachu one.
I have a Pikachu one, but they also, you know how there's the hollow see-through colored controllers?
Yeah.
There's this color for every Nintendo 64 of that too.
Jeez.
I think my least favorite looking console is probably the original Xbox. It's just a fat, huge block.
That thing
That's
was...
the biggest console
I-
ever. Maybe the
okay.
PS5 is.
Yeah, it was like, whoa!
I don't know. I wonder what's bigger, that or the PS5? Because I know the
PS5 's
PS5 is
for
chunky boy
massive.
too.
For me, for main consoles, I think I like the GameCube the most.
I'm with him.
Design-wise,
I like the GameCube
I just
the
love
most.
the box
Yeah,
with
the
the handle.
GameCube's cute.
It's so easy. It's got the little handle on the back. You just take it with you.
For ugliest,
Nice.
I gotta say, hands down, it wasn't even a contest. The first time I saw the PS5, I thought it was an ugly piece of crap.
Really? You don't like it?
I do not.
I like it.
the
I just wish it
PS5.
was slimmer.
I don't like how it looks at all. I think it's got super awkward shape. Like even like especially the disc version looks out of place.
Oh.
I don't like it.
For me, it's weird because the one I think is the ugliest is just because it's the most bland. I think it's the Xbox One. Whichever version you have sitting over there. It's
I'm
just a black
fine.
box. There's like no character to it.
Because you can like blend it into things.
There's, like, no
the
character.
PS5 is gonna look out of character no matter what.
That's what I
What about
like.
those zeros for the
Nice.
N64?
000.
That's my problem though, is that it doesn't have the character. Like if you buy something really nice, expensive, you kind of want it to stick
What
out.
if someone cheated your? What if someone cheated your question, Tyler? Yeah, my favorite handheld's the Switch, and my favorite console's the Switch.
Oh god. I would be
It's the
pissed.
first thing to be both.
I will say the Switch. It looks nice. It's not the worst thing I've seen, but it's definitely
It's
not
whatever.
my favorite.
Yeah. It's close to the being
No,
a
you
little
pick-
bland.
You gotta
What was
pick your favorite.
favorite? You said GameCube was favorite.
GameCube was
What was your least
awesome.
favorite?
The Xbox
Oh, Xbox. Okay.
No.
Tyler, do
Drew,
this-
I don't think you
It's
have your handhelds.
just doesn't.
My favorite handheld
flair.
in terms of looks. It's either the PSP or the Game Boy SP. Or
They both-
I mean original Game Boy.
Yeah, both of them are nice. It's just a nice brick.
And then least favorite?
Probably I guess Go.
PSP Go.
Yeah, PSP.
Oh yeah, that's weird. That's
Now
you
should ask the same question, Tyler. You should pick. Now this is not just based on appearance. This is just how you feel when you hold a controller.
Oh,
What's your least favorite controller you've ever held, and then your favorite controller you've ever held?
The nickname for the Xbox original controller. That massive.
I don't think
they call it the freaking Duke.
I've held that, but it's been forever.
It's horrible.
I don't remember how it feels.
It's really
I barely did.
And we're not going to go into any like.
You have to pick one that you've held though.
Yeah, we're gonna go first party controller. We won't do third parties because Mad Cats would easily be there.
My favorite is a hard choice because I really, really love the Switch Pro controller.
Yeah.
But I also really, really love the Wii U Pro controller as well.
Oh yeah, that's
that
true.
one was really good.
It is very nice.
I think though I'm gonna have to go with the Switch one. I think the Switch one is my favorite one. As far as least favorite, I think I might just have to say the original Xbox controller.
Have you held that before?
Yeah.
I don't think I held one of the.
I have.
They had.
You have to pick one you've held before.
I have. It's
there
awful.
What kinds were there? There was the Duke, but I think there was another one they had, right?
They refined it later and made a. They brought everything in because the Duke was like your hands were like facing outwards and it was huge.
That second model one because I've never actually used touch.
It still wasn't very good, but it was better.
Is that your answer?
No wait, I'm
Mine
gonna say
the original.
I'm gonna say the 360 controller, and that's partly because the D-pad is complete ass on. That's the worst D-pad ever.
It is a bad D-pad.
It's pretty bad.
The Duke's horrible.
What's your favorite controller then, Brandon?
Probably the Wii U Pro controller. I really thought that was. I thought that thing didn't get the love it did because of how the Wii U sold, but it was a good controller. Because I would use it for my PC games, and it was nice.
70 hours. Too.
70 hours without a charge.
Tyler.
Yeah, and it was literally the same as one of the DSs, either the 3DS or the DS. Because I had to swap them out once, and I just bloop, bloop, plopped it in, and it worked. Yep. And it had the same charge time and everything. It was amazing. And since you buy batteries for the DSs all the time, it was so easy to buy a replacement one if you had to.
Yep.
It was easy to open up and get into it too and clean it, everything. Never had any D-pad problems or button problems, nothing. It worked forever.
So some people say they have drift with the Pro controllers. I've never had it happen like I have with all of my right Joy-Con and both of
If it wasn't the Wii U Pro controller, it'd probably be the PS2 maybe. That's a good controller.
Yeah, it is.
It's a nice staple. The
Xbox controller feels
the PS3 one, they kind of shrunk it just a bit too much. They didn't shrink it much, but just enough to make your hands kind of weird on it.
PS3?
Yeah.
The thing about PlayStation controllers,
they're mostly the same.
Pretty much the same until the PS5, which I haven't gotten the privilege.
I can't wait to hold that thing.
I want to try it. It looks way more comfortable. I've never been particularly a fan of PlayStation controllers, but they're not bad.
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
But
they're not my favorites, though.
The few times I used the 360 controller,
they're just solid. That was a good level up, Hargan.
I'll have to say, Tom, my favorite controller ever is the GameCube controller.
Yeah,
it is a great controller.
I just don't like the clicky L and R, but that's about it.
I like those.
And the bad D-pad, but the buttons and the stick feel great. My least favorite's the NES controller. I hate that.
I feel like the best controller would be to take the GameCube controller, fix the proportions on that D-pad, and maybe the C stick maybe a little bigger, and give it the extra buttons that it needs for new games nowadays, like the stick clicks and all that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that would be like, just modernize it. It'd be like the best controller.
The C stick itself,
it's amazing.
Yeah, I would mirror that. I would say the shape of the GameCube controller, D-pad bigger, like you said. Add a ZL button.
Yeah,
and
it needs
stick
ZL
clicks.
and
I would change the top of the C stick to match the left stick.
Yeah, make
because
them like the
for first-person shooters,
the C stick was kind of weird.
But like the rest of the stick was fine. It just needs a better top. That's all.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I would change the face buttons to the traditional circle. Yeah,
I like the way they are now because you can literally tell which button based on size and like shape with just feeling around the controller.
Well,
I mean, it's not really a problem when you know the layout.
If I look at like games being made specifically with that controller in mind,
dude.
That's fine. The issue is when you go back and play old games, as Drew found out with DKC2, that those games get mapped literally as B is to jump and Y is to run because that's how Super
But that's not the GameCube's.
No, that's not the GameCube's fault.
Yeah, because if they centered a console around that button layout and people code
that's why
it,
GameCube games were so good.
Yeah, you can make it good.
Yeah.
Or if it's a PC game,
the sad thing is though that Nintendo should have thought about that and changed the freaking buttons to match it on the Wii Virtual Console.
Scary.
Because I bought Mario World and tried to play with a GameCube controller,
yeah,
and
they
it
let
was
you-
V to run, Y to run.
Yeah,
That's
let
weird,
you,
Tyler.
They let you move it around.
No,
Come on,
they didn't let
Oh,
you
they
move
did
it
it.
around.
Oh,
No,
they did.
you can do that on the Switch.
I think one of the worst controllers, ironically, has to be the NES one.
I hate that thing. I told you that was my least favorite.
I-
It's tiny and it's jagged.
Like,
Sharp edges, come on.
yeah, sharp. I mean, sure, you might have only needed the 2 buttons for that game, but they were digging into your hands, man.
And yes, the Nintendo 64 controller was weird as hell, but
I think
it
this-
did its job pretty well.
The Super Nintendo controller is one of the
My
best.
only
ones, I think.
complaint is because of the
Nice
stupid
and
ass layout. You could never really make use of all the buttons.
They're gonna freaking kill Merlin.
Merlin is gonna
No.
stall them the whole time.
You mean
Yeah.
Merlin the Dodge?
I don't remember how you recruit her.
You just talked to her with the Ellie Wood.
Good old Ellie. She's gonna be our new flyer.
And then
Heath
she
is
can replace
200.
Heath.
Drew,
Yeah,
did you give
he's-
us your favorite and least favorite controller? Yeah, you did. You said NES least favorite.
NES. And
And
then GameCube.
Okay.
In the next
GameCube.
episode,
The next
I'll
episode.
keep doing more Fire Emblem.
Drew's gonna get through this, man.
Okay, go ahead.
Those kind of discussions are always fun.
They are.